Hello, everyone. I welcome you all to day one of Be Your Own Boss Challenge. I am so sorry we had some technical difficulties because of which we will not able to start sooner. Really apologize for the wait, and it's amazing, right? Living in Silicon Valley, we still have technical difficulties and things do go wrong at the last minute, but then we need to pick up from wherever you know uh, we have to, and then just nail it. So that's basically, what it is. So, okay, I just wanted to, okay, so just go over a little couple of housekeeping rules. So as you know that, this is you guys have taken time out to come and attend this, and your time is very valuable, so is mine. So, and this training is going to offer a lot of value to you, I promise that. So I really appreciate if you can just be present, follow through, just do your homeworks, and do not you know just no distractions, please. And then talking about how to access this training, so there are three ways to access this. One is, if you have joined the Facebook group, then if you go to the guide section of the Facebook group, so we are streaming this live on Facebook, and then we are also streaming this live on LinkedIn, and we are also streaming this live on YouTube. So these are the three places that you can go and find this live or recording. But um, one thing, if you are watching this from LinkedIn or YouTube, then you still have to register, because you may not have registered. And if you haven't, then you will not get access to all the workbooks, all the materials that we post, and not to miss all the freebies and the scholarship. So that, and then get your workbook. So we have prepared a workbook which you can follow along. That's editable workbook, and it'll add a lot of value if you just follow that when you're doing the training. Also, content will be removed the next Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. Pacific. And last but not the least, invite your network. Just if you know somebody who might get benefited looking at the training, or you just want to have a buddy, please invite your network, post, and talk about this, talk about your learnings on your social media. It really, I mean, if we are learning something, if we are doing something which is helpful for us, we should. And I always feel that I have to share it with others who might get benefited. So please do your karma. What is this 5-day challenge? Just talking about why you're here and what you can expect out of this program. So it's a 5-day training where I'll teach you everything you need to know to transition from your 9 to 5 to establishing a sustainable and profitable product based or service based business. So this is the foundation. This training is a foundation of a strategy that has enabled people to get out of corporate rut, be free from a boring job that doesn't fulfill their passion, and have an ongoing fear that their job may be cut any day. So who feels this? Who is almost living in constant threat that their job may be cut uh, the next? I was there 7 years, 10 years ago. So hashtag fear. Please let me know if you guys are following along, and just comment that really will be very helpful. So, this method allows people to launch their dream business in a step by step fashion, thereby giving them a clear path and also saving time and money spent in doing countless mistakes. I have been there, I have done countless mistakes, which not only has a repercussion in terms of how fast I was able to bring my product to the market and my path to revenue, but also the amount of money that I had to spend in these mistakes. So, and which is why I went ahead and created this training, so you don't have to do this mistake. And even if you don't have any business idea, even if you don't know the ABC of doing business, any business experience, you will be able to do that. But we do have an implementation and accountability program that we'll talk about more on day 4. Coming back to this training, I believe you're here for a reason, right? So first of all, I really want to thank you for taking time out. I know everyone is busy, committing to learn how to turn your passion into profit, and build your own successful and profitable business. But before we begin, I want you to know that I have been where you are 7 years ago, and which is why I'm able to relate to you a lot. I was climbing corporate ladders, but I was exhausted. I was burnt out. I had lost all my passion. So my office was, I remember it was in Redwood City, and I live in Bay Area. Every single day I had a drive, around 1 hour drive, and every single day I had to drive myself to, I mean, I have to drag myself to work. I did not want to get up. I was not passionate. I was just not looking forward to the day. But fast forward to today, and I have three successful businesses under my belt and a portfolio career, which is recession proof. And I can teach you all about portfolio career in day 5 when we talk about financing your business. By the way, we also have a VIP session today on this topic, so don't miss that. But let's talk about why of building your own business and who is this training for. So do you feel that you are stuck in corporate 9 to 5, or you don't have a stable source of income and you are itching to create something meaningful and generate a living out of it? So you may be wondering if this is for you. This is for anyone that who has an idea or a passion that you want to turn into a real business, but need the knowledge and support to make that happen. How many of you have been here that you know that you want to do it, but you don't know how to take the first step? You want to be your own boss and have more control on your time or income. You feel stuck or burnt out in your 9 to 5 and want a fresh start doing work that you actually enjoy. Or you want to bring in additional income outside of your current job. You may be in a job but you want to earn some extra income, or you want to start something on the side, and then when that picks up, when you know that it will be able to replace your full-time income, then you want to take the plunge of leaving your job. This is for you. This is for you if you want to take control of your financial future and replace the current salary with something more stable, something more lucrative, something you may be more passionate about, and something which really keeps you motivated every single day. And this is for you if you worry about your job stability and fear that your job may be cut and eliminated at any time. But I know what you may be thinking, that, hey, Nina, I work as an engineer or I'm a stay at home mom for the past 15 years. I have never been taught how to do this. I don't have the basics of building my own business. This really overwhelms me. If it sounds like you, then I would want you to do me a favor and remove all distractions, silence your cell phone, and give this your full attention. Because what I'm going to teach you over the next 5 days will change the way you make money forever. Oh, and if you stick around to day 5 and fully engage, you will have the chance to win the scholarship, which I will be announcing on day 5. And also, there's one more quick announcement that there are, the rock stars from my team who are your concierge. So they will be reaching out to you throughout this training. Please make use of them. Uh, you will know who they are. They will tag you and they will reach out to you on DM. Please ask them questions. If you don't understand anything, if you want to replay anything, they are there for you. So please make use of them. And before we get started, I'll quickly show the people who have learned and applied my strategies and systems. So, in 3 months working with us, Lindsay secured the top place in a startup challenge and got her initial round of funding just following our move rule. Her business was a diversity training platform. And then she rocked 20K per month after 6 months. Sally, she made 100K per month with 7 clients. She had a high ticket offer with multiple revenue streams, and her niche is fitness coaching. Yuvanka is an artist. She made $30,000, started making $30,000 per month, and she doesn't hold any inventory because her business is about she is an artist and she is selling her art through different merchandise. She doing coaching, again, multiple stream of income. Lisa, she has a business. She has a VA firm. She has a consulting business plus a VA firm. And she went from servicing max 5 clients as a consultant to starting an agency with 10 clients after the first month. She grew ever since, and now she has 150 clients. Our favorite Lani, she has 400 members, brand new group, filled up in 1 week. And she enrolled 12 people into her program, into her $6,000 program. Okay, so $72,000. And Kim also did $72,000 from her group on first launch. Lani did 50-20K from a single day workshop with an ultra low barrier offer. So she did an in-person workshop. It's just, about you having the right messaging and you having the right audience, which we'll talk more about in day 3 and 4. So we have countless testimonial for you to look at in your free time. But before that, I just wanted to give you a brief introduction of who I am and who you will be talking to for the next 5 days, right? So I am an immigrant. I grew up in India. I went to a top tier fashion school in India, and I got admission in top tier business school in the US. I came here, but before that, I worked on factory shop floor, and I would not even see sun for days. I had a shift all 7 days, even on Saturdays and Sundays, and then I would go in the morning, come out in the evening. So I have learned from grounds up. That's what I'm trying to tell you, which is why I am here and I'm able to teach you everything. So I would, I came from a background, I came from a place where I would go for a job interview, changing three public transport, filled to the brim. And I once reached my job interview. I was dripping wet. It was raining. I didn't have a car. I landed that interview, although I didn't take up that job. But fast forward to today, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a wife, mom of two. I'm a badass businesswoman. I have a proven track record of launching in different industries and nailing it. So I currently have three successful businesses. My company Club Z, my first company in education. It was awarded nation's fastest growing franchise in America and in Canada only in the first year of launching. And then I have Indie Roots. I launched a home decor brand. I had my first $1 million in the first 19 months without any marketing spend. So, and I have without having no technical background, I climbed up to the corporate ladders. I was heading the marketing team for a software company. I've worked for company with like Sun, Oracle, Citrix, and before I took plunge in entrepreneurship, I was working for a startup. I was heading the team for a new product called Channel Data Management. So, bottom line, I have seen it all. I have diverse experience right from the shop floor to the corner office. And I'm very grateful for that experience because that has enabled me to come out and teach you guys, teach all facets of doing business, be it product, be it service, or be it coaching. I'm also a startup. I have been a startup advisor and coach, and I have worked with many accelerators, many one-on-one people, one-on-one. Now I'm launching my group coaching. I'm also a Forbes author and a part of their business council, which is a prestigious invitation-only organization of top 1% of entrepreneurs and business leaders worldwide. There is a very strict process of granting membership, and it's only granted to leaders with a proven track record of driving significant business growth and also notable personal accolades. I'm on a personal level, I'm a proud mom of two, 15-year-old boy and 11-year-old girl. That all sounds great, right? But I want you to know that it wasn't always easy. There was a time in my life when I felt so defeated and devalued. I couldn't sleep. I was without screaming in my pillow. I was miserable in my job. I wanted to quit every day. I mean, if you've ever had the feeling of a rug being pulled from underneath your feet, then that's what I was going through. I went through multiple years of this because I was climbing corporate ladders. I was doing so well that I set up a team from scratch. I defined a new category called channel data management and launched the product in many different countries after astounding success in the US. And I am the person who started the marketing team. So it's like any marketer's dream, right? You are not only launching product in a new market, you are launching a new product in a new market. So you have to educate the market. You have to start from grounds up, and I did that wonderfully. We had significant success in US, and then I took it to different countries. I was the company's spokesperson, so everyone looked up at me. So I mean, I was in my company, we had a global company. I was like the celebrity among my global team. I felt like, the queen in my own castle. But then management decided to sell the company, and the new management was taking a different route with the product, and there were already people in the driving seat for the marketing team. And we had amazing product, and the other company, they actually, inside story, they bought us just because we were their competition. So, the motto was not to take the products to another level, it was kind of to cut the competition. But I felt betrayed. I had sweat and tears to build the marketing from grounds up, but I had no control over the fate of the products. How many of you have been there, that you have done something, you have put your heart and soul in it, but things happen that you don't feel good about, that's not aligned with what you're looking for, but you have no control because it's not your company, it's not your product. Or if you have put your heart and soul into something, and then later you are not able to take the product or yourself to a certain height, to a certain limit, because your contribution, your aptitude is judged by someone who may or may not like you. So we have all been there, right? So, and which is why I decided to be my own boss. I would appreciate if you can just let me know if you were there where I was 7 years ago. Just say hashtag relate, because it's the group that we have here, it's so dear to me, because many of you people, and you guys reached out to me also on the side before signing up. You just told me that my story resonated with you. So it's very important for me to help people who are in the same shoes as I was 7 8 years ago. So that's when I decided to be my own boss. And that was the big moment for me, where I decided to do something to make some money online, because that is what the money was. It was all, I didn't want to do products, I wanted to do some quick test. And I didn't want the clutter, piles of products, inventory, overhead, shipping, returns, etc. And online is hot, right? Online has been hot, online was hot 7 years ago. So a little bird came to my window. She said, "Oh, you know what? You don't need any products. Why don't you try drop shipping?" I said, "Yes, this is it." And drop shipping at the time, the market was just picking up. So it was not even saturated like how it is now. So, and one thing which I'll talk about later, even when I'm doing mindset, that all I have made tons of mistakes in my businesses, but there is one mistake which thankfully I have not made so far, is strategic mistakes. So all my businesses which I have created, they did not have any problem with the strategy, but they had problem with other things which we will talk about later. But then this was drop shipping, and I was like, I have to do it. I'm just one drop shipping link away from fortune. But I thought, let me build a dropshipping website, and then, like they say, my product will sell overnight. I'll make thousands of dollars each day. So as I was promised, that when I'll wake up, I'll have tons of money. I would have already started making sale for that day, and I would have tons of money. So I'm like, yeah, this is awesome, right? Because I have what it takes. But I was wrong. I couldn't get anyone to buy my products. I felt like my business flopped even before it picked up. There was only one purchase, was my sister buying something to support me. So eventually I learned that everything I was doing was wrong. I did not know when I started dropshipping. I thought, you know what, uh, I have an MBA, and I have been my marketing all my life, so that should not be hard, right? But I was wrong. I did not know how things work. Although I was an MBA and a marketer, I had zero understanding of business. Hear me, zero understanding of business. Even though I took entrepreneurship classes, I took marketing classes in my MBA, and I, worked for many years in this field, but I had zero understanding, and I jumped into it without the right guidance. Entrepreneurship and corporate are two very different ball games. Being an MBA and being in corporate does not matter. In the business world, I was a novice. So I went back to ground zero. I started uh, researching other business ideas. I was overwhelmed because I didn't know the nuances of running my own business. And to be honest, it was very hard for me to even get the basic things done. Everything took more time than usual. I lost precious time and money for everything I had to research. So, and after all that, with zero sales, I closed that business. I was just not feeling the love. I just felt that I fell from a high tower. So the next business, I thought I will not make the same mistakes. So in my first business, I didn't have the guidance. I was fumbling to do things. Everything took longer. So I thought that, with the second business, I will go exact opposite way. So I bought franchise of a company called Clubsy. So I could have all the guidance, corporate guidance and best practices. I'm sure you guys know how franchises work, but then you are starting a business, and then your franchisor is there to give you all the support, all the toolkits, and all the right guidance. So I thought, what's the better way of doing this than this? You have a brand which is already established, and you are taking the rights, and then you are doing your own thing. I created my business plans, ran projections, and had a totally bulletproof plan. So just to show you about that plan, so here I did my due diligence. I created the 5-year projection, and this was what my 5-year projection is. So basically, these were all my zip codes, my market size, and then percentage of children under 28, which is in my how many people are my target clients in my territory. And then I said, okay, even if I do 1% of target market, even if I capture that, then I would have a revenue of 250K in year one. And then that I bought 3 territories. So even with 1% of market, total addressable market, if I could capture, I would have 500K revenue. And then think about when it goes to 5%, 800K. So this was the forecasted prediction. So I will tell you that things were way smoother than I hoped. So I set everything up very quickly because I had the guidance. They told me what exactly to do. I was up and running in a month. Exactly knew how to do, exactly had the market blueprint, had marketing toolkit, and the most important, I had somebody to turn into for advice, for help. I would not be wasting time researching something, doing it the wrong way, and then coming back and then, wasting time and money and then starting from ground zero again. I had record business in my first month. Just know that I had clients even before I opened my door. So I had clients, and I was not even ready with my tutors and all the processes yet. But I quickly realized, so things worked wonderfully, but I quickly realized that there was a ceiling on this business on earning. Not because of lack of opportunities or operations. I did exceptionally well in all the areas, including marketing and sales. My clients were ecstatic to give me their money, but I could only grow in proportion to the time that I could spend in that business. Everybody wanted a piece of me. So it wasn't a scalable business. So just so you know, I went, so we had a model. We used to go to people's, meet with people and close the deal, and then implement it. I had a 99% close rate, and I was the owner of the business. I was growing my team. I had my educational consultant. But what happened is that after I closed, for everything, people wanted my time. They would reach out to me, they would want me to talk to them, which was not possible because I could not be everywhere. So although it had a revenue potential of 800K, as you said in the graph, but it wasn't the right fit for me because it wasn't aligned with the kind of life I wanted to be leading. And I will talk more about that tomorrow. But for today, it wasn't a scalable business. I was not my own boss. This was my vision of being my own boss. So even though I had a business with high revenue potential, which was doing extremely well, I was not my own boss. So just so you know, uh, I was able to do a lot of things in that franchise as again other franchises. So I created a strategy. I was focusing more on institutional clients, and I backed after months of working with the city, with the government. I backed Santa Clara County deal to tutor their foster kids across the Bay Area. and it took multiple meetings, multiple going to their offices and pitching and so on, and finally they called me to their office one day and they signed the deal. But you know what happened? They were so impressed with me and the sales pitch and whatever they were seeing that they said, "Hey Nina, I am willing to give you the contract, but I want to consolidate," because this was their pain point. They had multiple vendors, and then not everyone was as good as us. So they said, "I want you to be servicing all my clients across all the Bay Area." That was a huge deal, guys. Government contract and a contract for just, sole contract of servicing all their regions. But I couldn't accept it because in franchise business, you have territory restrictions. So if something is not, although I had a huge, big territory, but for the areas which were not in my zip codes, I had to hand them over to my counterpart. And that is not what they wanted. They wanted me to be able to do everything. So even though the potential in that one particular deal was immense, it was not aligned with my vision. Sorry, it was for the county deal. Although the potential was immense, but I could not service them, right? And for the Club C business, although the potential was immense, it was not aligned with my vision because that's not how I wanted to lead my life. So rather than just thinking that, okay, I'm a failure, my business failed, I continued working on Club Z, but I scaled back on my time. I started automating the workflow by setting processes in place and by creating teams. Just so you know, it was not a business model which my franchisor they recommended, but I did that. I thought that, okay, it's better to ask for forgiveness rather than asking them to do something now which will be turned down. And I created a completely virtual team. I just divided things into tasks of what I could do in the US and what I could offshore. And I could do all these at, I will not even say 1/10, probably 1/20th of the price, which the original business model suggested. And I was running a very lean and very efficient team, and I could free up my time to do the two things that I really wanted. So today, that business is on autopilot. I have a team running it. I hardly give an hour each week, and that business is generating 10 to 15K per month for me. I'll talk more about that in the portfolio career, but that's what I'm telling. I want to talk to you about how you can fund your business and how failure should not prohibit you, because if I stopped at this time, I would not be able to build three empires for me and my team. So coming back to failing, almost failing in clubs, yeah, I was still determined to make money. So I got together with two other people and started my company called Indie Roots. So Indie Roots, just for those who don't know, it is a artisan collective. So we bring art from all around the world to the buyers in the US. And all the products are handmade, so it's the supply chain was tremendous, huge supply chain. So we worked with 100 artisan groups across, at the time we worked across India, but now we work across all Southeast Asian countries. People make things by hand. And just to tell you the skill level of these artisans, people who work on my Taj Mahal, people who work on my marble products are direct descendants of people who worked on Taj Mahal. So that's the kind of skill level I'm talking about. I still get goosebumps. So anyway, we built a supply chain, but then and we were, I was in charge of sales and marketing here, and worked my magic with marketing. We got our first $1 million client through email marketing. Nobody believes it when I say it, but then soon a hammer was waiting for me because my supply chain partner quit. Went into depression mode, guys. I really went into depression mode. But then after 2, 3 days of sulking, not talking to anyone, I decided to pick myself up, started building my team, started learning all the supply chain things and building team in India, learned workflow, shipment, logistics. I put things in action, but everything again took a lot of time because I didn't know any of this. There was nobody guiding me. I did that by failing. So I wasted a lot of time, but I learned some life lesson that build your system, build process so people are not bottleneck. And we'll talk more about that later. And we talk more, we also enable you to build such businesses in our uh, inside a training program. Know your processes and always have a support system. I didn't have anyone at the time. So my business grew. I put all these things in place, and I added more clients. I made 250K just in one shipment, and my business was on the upward growing trajectory. I had perfected the entire process, and then I created what the industry knows at move rule now. The rule which completely changed my life, and something, a rule that can change your life too. So I just want to stop here and I want to ask you, who is excited? Who is excited to go and change your life? Because whatever we are going to be doing in the next 4 days, I think the seed is planted now. The seed is planted when you are so excited that you will do anything to make your dream work. So just, post hashtag excited for people who are watching LinkedIn Live, YouTube. Please comment and let me know if my story is resonating with you, if this is what you want to be doing in your life too. And it's not that hard. It took me a while, it took me longer because I was learning all these things. But again, I'm thankful that because of all of that, I am now in a position to guide you because I have such multifaceted experience. Since finding my move rule, my life has completely changed. I just want to keep an eye on the time also because we started a little late. So, I after that I launched my dream company, guys. I have a degree in fashion, uh, garment manufacturing and apparel merchandising, and I really, what I wanted to do was to create a business, a women's wear brand for for me, and to empower women on how to look beautiful and feel confident to step into their superpower. Women's wear apparel designer brand is a very, very, very competitive market. And it was, I mean, it's a very difficult business to be in, but we launched this spring and we are already in Oculus Mall, World Trade Center, New York. We are in two locations at Miami. We are in Hampton, New York. We're in Costa Rica. We are global, guys. We are at Very Shop, and there are many more exciting locations coming soon. So, this being an extremely difficult business, I still did that. I still launched it, and I was able to get all these under our belt in a very short amount of time because of the move role. So nowadays I go to Goa at a whim because my high school friends were having a reunion, and it was an impromptu reunion, and I didn't have to worry about taking leave from work or being answerable to people. Nowadays I go to attend detox retreat. I had recently attended a retreat for 10 days where they did not allow phone. If I was in my job, I would never have been able to do that. Now, because I have time freedom, I have location freedom, I have all these, you know I don't rely on anyone to do what I want to do, right? So, and I can, if my daughter wants me to take her shopping in a weekday afternoon, I can go without having to worrying about if my managers would be looking for me. So now I have a light of adventure, time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom, but I spent a long time to get here, and it was not a it was very difficult journey, but I'm telling you that you don't need to spend 10 years. I'll teach you exactly what worked for me, honest, with no fluff. I'll tell you my exact formula. And after doing this for many years and failing multiple times, I realized that there's a very specific order in which to do things to make it right, and that I have condensed all that learning in move, in a simple four-letter formula: move. But before I show you how to turn these letters into cash, let's agree on something. Do you agree that being your own boss is the best way to live and work? Just, put hashtag agree. And if you are excited to learn what this move formula is, then please write move, and please share it on your social media. Just know, let everyone know that you are learning this new thing which is going to turn your life around. That is the first step towards commitment. And but now is the best time than ever. You know why? Because you may be thinking, oh, the time has passed now, people are already, market is saturated. So the best time to build a business was when, maybe 5 years ago, if you're talking about an online business. And what is the next best time? The next best time is today. And that is because I want this point to, to come home to you guys, because we now, because the pandemic, we just went through a pandemic. There were many bad things. We can't even say that what good came out of pandemic. But then there is one thing that happened for certain, is that the pandemic altered consumer behavior. There are increased demand for certain product and services, and the entrepreneurs who were quickly able to identify those emerging trends and roll out their business model to cater to the changing need of customers, they were very, very successful. So we know about the company Zoom, we know about Instacart. Are these any new business models? No, they just capitalized on a market opportunity. So pandemic did a lot of changes in how people think. There are many, you know that there's a mass exodus from workplace, because people rethought on what they wanted to do, what kind of work that they want to do, what kind of life that they want to live. So although there is a lot of exodus from the marketplace, the unemployment rate is still not high, because there are more people following entrepreneurship route. And this is substantiated by this data. If you see that the data from OECD shows that the number of business establishment opening in the US stood 34% over 2019 levels by the end of 2022, equivalent to 356,000 more places of business opening their doors than before the pandemic. So I want you to take a minute and think about this. 356,000 more places of business opening their doors now than before the pandemic. Think, guys, how huge this is. And the US Census Bureau confirms that the present startup surge shows no sign of slowing. And the IRS received 473,000 application in October 2023, which was a 44% over more than 2019 levels. So, but this sounds great, right? We have an amazing rule called move. This is the right time. Let's go and do it. But we also know, guys, I want to set the expectations right. It's not only about the roses and sunshines and sprinkles, right? We also know that 90% of businesses fail at various stages in their cycles. If you see that, I think 80% of businesses fail by year one. I think that's what they say. So this is the statistics of how businesses fail each year. It's not because they haven't thought through their offering. It wasn't because they didn't use the right tactics or pivot when needed. So, sorry. So it's not because they didn't think through their offerings. It's because the implementation was wrong. They did not use the right tactics, or they did not pivot when needed. Pivoting is, guys, a very, very, very important thing. And it's almost the holy grail of whether you will be successful or not. And we'll talk more about that in coming few days. But it's not a magic pill. That's, I can guarantee you that. It takes a lot of hard work perfecting the right formula. And now with, I have this move rule, which is the right formula, which I used. I reached a 1 million run rate in my business in 19 months following the same rule. And as we discussed, Sydney reached her 20K per month after 5 months, after 6 months following the move rule. And Lindsay, she had no idea of how she's going to implement. She just had a business idea, and she secured the top place in a startup challenge and got her initial round of funding because she was at the top place in that challenge. And then I could go on and on about how people try to build their businesses. But would you agree that being your own boss is the best way to live your dream life and get financial freedom? Again, I want to again ask you, because commitment is the key. Agreement is the key, which will open your minds towards learning what I have to teach you in the next 4 days. But before I tell you what that formula is, I just wanted to tell you, want you to do something for me. Just imagine, I'm very spiritual person, and I am lot every single day. One thing which I do without fail is, in my practice, I manifest. because I feel that three times a day I manifest. I think about what is coming to me in the day and how I would feel when that thing comes to me. So, and that thing comes to me, that happens, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow. But right now, which is why I want to do this imagination exercise. Imagine stepping into your true gift. Imagine not, having a streamlined and systemized way of building a business that eliminates chaos, uncertainty. Imagine stepping into strategies, stop wasting time, not wasting ton of times and mistake. Imagine launching a business in 3 months, and imagine launching it without getting overwhelmed, without wasting money, with having somebody to guide you. Imagine not having to go to work. Imagine being the master of your own time. Imagine doing what you prioritize in your life, spending time with your kids and being able to manage your time. Imagine have a regular stream of income. Imagine having a business which you can even sustain in crisis time like COVID. Imagine having a consistent revenue stream, and imagine taking charge, being the CEO, and doing things like a boss. So, if you have been looking for this and you have not been able to find something lucrative or with more stability, if you have tried in the past to get your business up and running, if you have managed to take in enough information but you feel completely lost and confused every day, you are not truly confident in how to start it, how to run the business, what this all was meant to be. But then you still take the first step, but then you get distracted by so many things coming your way. You're unsure. One day you are maybe focusing on content because somebody said content was the key. Another day you are thinking about doing a webinar because, like, oh, this is how I reach out to people. So you are distracted, confused, but it's not your fault. Because like me, you have used, if you're an MBA, you may have used your MBA or your Google research and tried to do things by the book. You tried to gather information, but you didn't get the whole thing because you were acting on the information alone. And businesses are not built on bookish language. Businesses are not built on bookish language, guys. And information alone doesn't do anything, which is why we created this training. So now I'm sure you must be, thinking, hey, will it even be worth it? Will people even come? Where will, if I open doors, and will I be able to sell anything? So you are so worried that you've been paralyzed with inaction. Or like me, you may be worried that you may not even have it in you. Just because I failed in my first and second venture, it was very easy for me to think that I may not even have it in me. But you have to stop worrying, guys, because we got you. I got you. Because the truth is, you don't need a large audience or a big thing. I was the only one solo entrepreneur when I started. You can do it very lean. You don't need a lot of money to get started. I'll talk about the financial strategies. You may not even need to already have an offer created because we'll go through that. You don't need to master marketing because you'll get a marketing toolkit. You don't want to be a techie person because we teach you about operations. All you have to do is you have to stop worrying. I want you to not worry about any of this ever again because I'm going to spill out all that has worked for me. The secret to consistently getting revenue and having a scalable business is move. So let's keep in mind that we'll just take the next 5 minutes to cover each letter because I have been where you are. I have, went where going, and this is what exactly has worked for me. So first letter minds M. M is the mindset. This is developing the right entrepreneurial mindset. So things like understanding motivation, cultivating perseverance, learning from failures. And this is very, very, very important, and why I will talk to you about tomorrow. And it's not just a spiritual mumbo jumbo. I will give you exact toolkit on how to master this. And then O is the offering, creating a valuable, compelling value proposition for your audience. V is target market validation, which means identifying the right customer persona and building lead generation capabilities. We will help you with that. But right now, just think about getting the right product and finding the right audience for that product and finding the right toolkit to reach out to that audience. And E is execution, guys. Is putting it all together and launching in that 90 days or 30 days or whatever your time frame is launching with complete confidence. Okay. So do you know, guys, that this is the only formula that you need to succeed? And will you like me to show you how to master this in the next couple of days? So now that you've been listening to my voice for the last 30-45 minutes and heard about the previous success stories, you're probably starting to feel very excited. And you obviously see how this can change your life forever. But to be able to get benefited with what's coming in the next 4 days, the first key is to commit. Because if you do not take the first step, if you don't commit, and the next step is creating the right mindset, which we'll talk about, but if you don't commit, you will not do everything which is needed to create a great business for yourself, which is going to give you financial freedom and which is scalable. So please commit to this. Post this in the Facebook group to make use of concierge. uh, Ask them if you don't know how to do things. Post this commitment statement, but before that, to hashtag commit to show me. I am seeing all the comments coming in through Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Just say that you commit. Hashtag commit. I commit to implementing the move rule which I learned this week. Then, guys, we're also posting homework each day. Our concierge will be able to tell you more about the logistics, and if you have any issue, we have workbook. Please complete your homework each day and post it back on Facebook group. Commit. And please, every interaction, every interaction that you're having here, engagement, you're earning points. And then we will reveal our huge prizes, scholarship and freebie for people who engage the most. So please engage with us here. Take a screenshot of this commitment post and post it on your social media saying I commit, because you are now commitment is not only to you, but you are making it global, which means that things are getting starting to get real. Please take a screenshot, post it into social media, tag us. Okay, and our concierge can tell you how to tag us. Please do that, because commitment is the big step. And now, right after this, we'll give you a 15 minutes break, bio break, water break. And then we will have a VIP session where, in a very small Zoom setting, we will talk about the instant funding secrets for startup and how I funded my business without taking any external capital. So join me today in 15 minutes. I just went over things quickly because I wanted to give you that 15 minutes of break, but please join me in the VIP session. Uh, and please make use of our concierge. If you don't know what link, where, they will be able to give you the link, but hashtag VIP if you want to be in the VIP session. Hashtag VIP. Okay. And tomorrow we are going to go everything about the mastery, mindset mastery. Again, 12 p.m. Pacific. This is the homework for the day. And now, right on time at 1 o'clock Pacific sharp, I close this, and I look forward to seeing you in the VIP session and in the coming 4 days, where I will talk about things like how to create an offer, a compelling offer, how to find out your target market, how to validate your target market, how to reach out to that target market, how to do your sales pitch, how to put everything together, and the financial strategy so you don't have to rely on external capital. But I would love to get your complete commitment, and I will know that you're committed if you interact with us, if you engage with us through all the things that I talked about. With that in mind, I am closing today's challenge, and I will see you in the Zoom room in 15 minutes. Thank you so much, guys. I love you.